Welcome to the Human Capital Innovations Podcast. We're your source for personal, professional, and organizational growth and development, where we share original research, explore industry trends, and interview executives and thought leaders from across the globe. We hope you join us often for practitioner-oriented content around all things related to leadership, HR, talent management, organizational development, and change management. Maximize your personal and organizational potential with Human Capital Innovations Podcast. Do you enjoy the Human Capital Innovations Podcast? Enjoy ad-free listening by going to the Patreon page, and please consider contributing even at the producer or sponsorship level. And please leave a review. Thank you for your support. Welcome to the Human Capital Innovations Podcast. In this HCI Podcast episode, I share my recent Forbes article, Deliberate Job Design, and how you can craft more purpose into your work. Welcome back to the Human Capital Innovations Podcast. It's a pleasure to be with you again today as I share my recent Forbes article. I, like many of you, have had a lot of different types of jobs in my lifetime. Back before my university and professional life began, I had a long string of what some might deem to be quote-unquote crummy jobs, e.g. paper route, waiter, telemarketer, construction work, factory work, etc. Of course, any form of honest work is noble and worthwhile, and what may be a crummy job, quote unquote, for one person might be an ideal job for someone else. For me, I had an idea from a young age about what I might like to do in my career, and none of these jobs were it. But each job taught me many valuable lessons, the value of hard work, and how to navigate a complex and messy world. After a year of college, following a 2-year hiatus to complete a non-paid service mission for my church, I was needing to earn money to continue my university studies and ended up working at a nearby factory. The work was hot, grimy, and monotonous, and while many of my coworkers enjoyed the work, for me it was merely a means to an end. Earn enough money to pay for college and then leave and never look back. Suffice it to say, I probably didn't have the best attitude, but I worked hard and I tried to improve every day, and I sought ways to derive value from the work I was doing. Revisiting the classic job characteristics model. Nearly 50 years ago, social scientists Richard Hackman and Greg Oldman studied the nature of work, what drives employee satisfaction and dissatisfaction, and the factors that would increase the likelihood of an employee sticking around and staying engaged in their work or choosing to leave. Since then, Hackman and Oldman's job characteristics model, as it came to be known, became the foundation of literally thousands of studies across various social science disciplines interested in understanding the employee experience at work. While other more recent models of worker motivation, satisfaction, and engagement are more sophisticated and nuanced, their original job characteristics model continues to be the most commonly cited and utilized model in scholarly research and in use by consultants and leaders in the workplace. Hackman and Oldman's job characteristics model is made of 5 key components. Number 1, skill variety, the degree to which a job requires a worker to develop and utilize a wide variety of skills and abilities to complete the work. Number 2, task identity, the degree to which a worker can complete entire processes in their work, or at least they can see how their discrete work connects with a larger tangible outcome. Number 3, task significance, the degree to which there is meaning and purpose embedded in the work performed, and the worker can see how their efforts impact other people's lives. Number 4, autonomy, the degree to which the job empowers the employee to own the outcomes of their work and allows for decision-making freedom and discretion on the part of the worker. And number 5, feedback, the degree to which performing the work provides clear, specific, and actionable results and information that allows the worker to improve over time. Each of these 5 characteristics have been shown again and again to increase meaning and purpose at work, employees' experience of ownership and responsibility for the outcomes of their work, and employees' knowledge of the results of their work to drive ongoing development. Furthermore, each leads to higher intrinsic motivation, higher satisfaction and engagement, higher performance, and lower negative outcomes like absenteeism and turnover. A modern interpretation. In 2011, Daniel Pink popularized the decades-old job characteristics model in his popular book, Drive. For Pink, worker motivation, satisfaction, and engagement, along with other outcomes like productivity and innovation, come from 3 core elements: autonomy, mastery, and purpose. Of course, autonomy directly links back to Hackman and Oldman's autonomy construct, while mastery connects back to skill variety and feedback, and purpose connects back to task identity and task significance. Through explaining decades' worth of research across a wide array of academic disciplines in a clear and accessible way, Pink revitalized conversations around work design and employee motivation. Even in work like factory work described above, there are a myriad of low-cost or no-cost ways to intentionally infuse that work and other forms of manual labor, dirty, hot, and repetitive work, with more autonomy, mastery, and purpose. In fact, though I didn't realize it at the time, in retrospect, that is exactly what I was doing in my own efforts, in an effort to make the work more bearable back at the factory. It is a pity that the factory's leadership didn't take a more strategic approach to job design, which would have yielded a great deal of both positive bottom line and human benefits. Deliberate and strategic job design. Often, consultants will utilize these 5 key elements or some slight variation when analyzing the nature of work in specific jobs, conducting job evaluations and performing job redesign to enhance worker motivation, satisfaction, and engagement. However, this isn't rocket science, and any leader can start the process of examining the work of members of their team and further embedding the 5 factors more fully into the daily experience of each member of their team. Additionally, every individual worker can take ownership over their work and find creative ways to more fully infuse one or more of these factors into their work. Crafting work with more meaning and purpose. Using Hackman and Oldman's job characteristics model, skill variety, task identity, task significance, autonomy, and feedback, or Pink's modern popularized application, autonomy, mastery, and purpose, organizations, leaders, and employees alike have the framework and tools necessary to immediately improve work design, infuse any job with more meaning and purpose, and increase a range of employee outcomes such as motivation, satisfaction, engagement, productivity, and innovation. Let's take ownership of our work, strive to improve the work of our people, and make every job a job we are excited to go to. Do you enjoy the Human Capital Innovations podcast? Enjoy ad-free listening by going to the Patreon page, and please consider contributing even at the producer or sponsorship level. And please leave a review. Thank you for your support. Thanks again for joining us for this episode of the Human Capital Innovations podcast. I hope you stay healthy and safe and that you have a great week.